Hurricane Sam has weakened considerably since the last video. So last time I uploaded, it was 11 p.m. Eastern time. It was at 145 miles per hour. Now it has winds of 125 miles per hour with higher gusts. It is weakened to a Cat 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, which it's still a major hurricane, but it's a significantly weaker hurricane now. So that's some good news right there. Hurricane force winds are 30 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend now 105 miles from the center. So that's quite interesting. Pressure has risen considerably from 943 to 966 millibars. So yeah, that's a pretty shocking development. But at the same time, it's not so shocking considering what's going on with this system right here. Like, this thing really just lost its mojo. It's lost its like huge, like rotating, like nearly perfect structure we saw yesterday, and now it's basically this, and it's at this point struggling to even get an eye wall at this point. So yeah, this hurricane is struggling. Hurricane hunters are currently out in this storm. Just keep that in mind. We have the cone. Let's see. Cone hasn't updated yet, so we'll get back to that in a second. First, we'll go to the tracks, then we'll go to the intensity. Hold on a second. Okay, here's the track models right here. So yeah, so models are mostly in agreement for the next 5 days. They have it moving east. They have it moving east of Bermuda. If it moves a little bit closer, they could see some tropical storm force winds, but all they're likely going to get is some outer bands in Bermuda at this point if these models are correct at this time. Also, northern Leeward Islands, you're starting to get some surf. You're starting to get some rip currents. This is going to continue for a few days, so just watch out and seek guidance from your local officials before you go swimming. And this is the intensity at this point. Majority of these models just have it weakening. Some have it strengthening. That I can tell you that that's probably not going to happen. Majority of these have it weakening. Some go down to Cat 2. Majority of them some go to Cat 1s. Majority of them are 5 days out are kept at Cat 3. Though a couple have it going down to a tropical storm a week out. So if that's the case, that would be some really good news considering how powerful Sam has been. Be a fitting end for a powerful hurricane, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not sure if they've updated the cone or not, but take a quick look. Okay, they have updated. Nope, they haven't updated yet. So yeah, we're going to go back to the satellites. This is what we're looking at right now. We saw some minus 80s in there, so that's not necessarily impressive considering the structure of this hurricane is just completely gone. We're going to go back 100 frames. No, we're going to go back 100 frames. Yeah, this is... Okay, there we go. This is where it was basically... Yeah, this was where it was yesterday. Look at the hurricane. The eye's starting to shrink right here, so this is where it is now. It's basically basically a sad excuse of its former self, essentially. It's still a major hurricane, keep that in mind. It's still very powerful, but this hurricane is far less impressive on satellite, and it is considerably weaker than it was at this time yesterday. It was at 145 miles per hour at this time yesterday. It peaked at 150. Then it started crashing in intensity. It plummeted. First it was small, it was down to 145, then it plummeted to 130, and now it's 125. So, yeah, let's hope this weakening trend continues, but odds are it's either going to weaken slowly, or it's going to basically just level off and try to organize itself. But this whole structure just collapsed on itself. Yeah, cone is still not updated yet. I guess they're waiting a little bit to update it, but we'll get back to that in a second. We'll go to the few key takeaways we have, and we'll check one last time if the cone's been updated yet. So this is the first key takeaway. Models are generally in agreement. They are having it moving east of Bermuda. So if Bermuda does get some impact, if it gets close enough, they could see tropical storm force impacts. If not, they could see some outer bands, some surf. That's probably about it. If the consensus of the models have it moving right, we're in the middle right here. Next key takeaway: this hurricane is expected to slowly weaken for the next week. There are several models that have it just tanking down to a tropical storm force, which that would be great if it did. I just want to put that out there. There are a few models that have the strengthening back to a Cat 4. I can assure you that is likely not going to happen. So, that's the next key takeaway. Okay, they just updated the cone. It's expected to remain a major hurricane, major Cat 3 hurricane throughout its journey to east of Bermuda. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking. That's pretty much what we're looking at this point. So, here we go. Final key takeaway is that this system just collapsed at this point. So, yeah, this organization just went down the toilet, just collapsed on itself. So, yeah, that's all I have for Hurricane Sam. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more updates.